So is it okay? Wait, testing. Is the sound okay? Sound okay? Wait, testing. Is the sound okay? Sound okay? Sound okay? Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. I make the chat box as well. Show the chat box. Why is it not working? Okay, I think it may be fine now. Test again. Okay. Somehow have echo. Really? Let me see. Oh, I know. Okay. So I think it's okay now. I forgot to turn off the YouTube live sound from my computer. Okay, so I think it's okay now. Is it? Is it okay now? So if there are still some sound problem, please tell me. Okay, then this is the last for chapter 8. We about more quadratic equations. Still about quadratic equation. That means it's still about equation that we can make it into quadratic. There are already 5 forms we have talked about, and then those are the 5 forms in the textbook, and that's all then. Now, finally for today, we will have some word problems to see together. Okay, so word problems. That means it's like some situation given, and then we understand situation, try to write the equation, and then we can solve it. Again, when you write the equation, write the relation, maybe it will be some equation that can be changed to quadratic, just like before. But then the main difference is these are word problems. Okay, so this time these are word problems. So I suppose today we have one example, and then one quick classwork, and then a little more difficult questions that usually students may ask. Therefore, I also talk about here at the first, and that's all. Okay, so it's just 3 things altogether. Just 3 things. So let's begin. About word problem, I change it to the textbook first. Okay, so the textbook display. Okay, so it seems okay now. So it is the last section, practical problems leading to quadratic equations. That is there are some situation given, and then after changing, after understanding the situation and write the equation, then we may find it can become a quadratic equation, and then we can solve as usual. So understanding the situation is important. Okay, it's one of the key steps, one of the first key steps. And then afterwards, of course, we do solving as usual. But another point to be in the remark to be careful is that we also be careful after finding the answer. We should check, is it making sense? That is also the main difference for word problems. After even getting the answer, we need to check, is the answer making sense? That means you get the answer x equal 10, then you should put the 10 back into the original situation and check, is it okay? Well, so then we do a quick practice. Usually words will be given. An example briefly first. Words will be given for the situation, and we try to understand those words and try to get try to find for example, make the unknown, let n or let x or whatever, let the unknown, and then to set up the equation. Okay, so usually words will be given, and you understand and make and let the unknown, write the relation. So we go to quick practice. Quick practice is very like the example. Therefore, we use quick practice and do it together. Okay, so in the quick practice 21, there are 180 sweets distributed evenly to a group of children. So distribute evenly, that means all should have the same number. Therefore, you just do division. So if it is not set about evenly, then someone may get more, someone may get fewer. But if it's about distributed evenly, so everyone should have the same. Therefore, just do division. So 180 divided among a group of children. But the number of children is not given at first. More information would then be if 12 more children join the group. That means if like original number is n, then the new number will be 12 more, so n plus 12. Then each child in the group will get 4 sweets fewer. So if there are more children, then of course the sharing will they will not share so many, and therefore they get 4 fewer. And then find the number of children in the original group. That means find the number of children at the beginning. Okay, so doing this, I would suggest usually making a table to show the change will be good. Therefore, I try to also show this by making a table. So make a table to show the change. Oh, sorry, I make it thicker lines. Right, so make a table to show the change. Then at the beginning, altogether there are 180 sweets. And at the beginning, then the number of children. There are probably 2 kinds of information. One of it will be the number of children, and the other will be how many does each of them get. Therefore, number of children. What happened to the pen? Why? Okay. Oh, number of children. Oh, okay, it's okay now. Number of children. Then there are 2 cases. At first, the number of children here is n, and then later there will be 12 more. Therefore, the second case will be n plus 12. So I try to let n to be the number of children. And then the other thing is, well, what about this distributing, sharing this 180 sweets? Then each of them gets. So we also check how many each of them will get. And therefore the table, the other column will then be each of them will get 180 over n. And on the other hand, what about the other one, the new situation? That means this is the original, and this will be the after. So making a table to handle those data, it may make things easier. And then each of them will get 108 for the original. Then it is 180 distributed to all the n students and the children's. Therefore 180 over n. But what about after? After, then we can use the information found here. They will get 4 fewer. Therefore, compare to the original, compare to the case for before, then they will get 4 fewer. Therefore, it's 180 over n minus 4. Okay, so this is the complete analysis of the table. Okay, and then now we can we can try to set up an equation. So after understanding the situation, we can set up the equation. And how can we set this up? Because from beginning to the end, we are still having 180 sweets altogether. Therefore, even for this after, we are still distributing the 180 sweets. And so to set up the equation, then it will be the total number of children times each of them gets, then it will be 180. Therefore, this n plus 12 times this new number, then it will be 180. So n plus 12 and then times 180 over n minus 4, it will be 180. Because the total number of sweets is still 180, so nothing new, nothing changed. And then afterwards, you see we have set up an equation. And this kind of equation is an equation with fraction. Then we solve as usual and get the n. Okay, so this is the general idea. So try to understand the problem first. Probably using a table to help you analyze the data to understand the situation. And then from the table, we can set up the equation. Alright, so maybe now we take like 1 or 2 minutes and do solving, solve the problem and get the answer. And don't forget, after getting the answer, put back into the situation and check if it is making sense. For example, if you are getting a negative number in n, then it does not make sense. Or for example, if you get like a 0.5 or some decimal number, it does not make sense again. Then we may need to reject the answer. Also, we take one minute or two and solve it. And also, I try not to say anything when solved. Then you just do yourself and watch at the afterwards. 成日冇帶 cal 添，12乘18， 216。真係麻煩啦！呢、個冇 counter 添。OK， 攞到。咦？唔係真係冇 counter， 真係冇 counter 添。5418乘30 OK， 18乘30 18乘30 so n equal to -30。or n equal to 18 18乘30 So if you have already finished, you can check your work or you check your answer. Check if you get the same as the one I showed. And then if you have already done this one, it's okay, then could you show me an okay in the chat box? $30就每人6粒，係咪12、18？係啦，30每人6粒，然後18個呢，18個就每人10粒係啦，所以就10粒變6粒，所以少咗4粒。So if you have finished it and then you check it, it's okay. So put a OK in the box. Or if there are any steps that I showed here but you don't understand, feel free to ask. If there are some steps that you don't understand what I'm doing, then just ask. Okay, then finally we'll do one more question that may be of more difficulty, higher difficulty. I'm not going to go through the similar problem for example 22 because it is some distance speed time problem, and again using a table can help us analyze it very easily. While the similar thing for quick practice. Again, using a table can help understand easier. then therefore I'm not going to repeat the same thing again. On the other hand, I would like to go to the exercise and talk about a question together, because that questions usually when students do exercise by themselves, they may ask this one. This is the question 16 in the next exercise. The exercise is exercise 8 dot and question 16, the last question. So many of you will ask the question. I mean, not you, but many other students will ask this question when they do self exercise. Probably they would like to try some harder question in the exercise, but when they start doing it, then usually they find the problem. Therefore, I think it's also good that I can take lesson time and do this together. Okay, so this is question 16. The words there are not so many words. The situation is also not very difficult to understand. But then the problem is students may not know how to write the relation, how to set up the equation. Also, the good thing is the unknown n is already given, and then you don't need to latch. The n is already there. You can use the capital letter N. So let's see what is this question about. So Martin can finish a job in n days. So there is a job for Martin that he takes n days to do it. And then on the other hand, John can finish the same job in n plus 2 days. Okay, so that means the same job, if Martin takes it, he takes n days to do. And if John takes the same job, then he takes n plus 2 days to do. And these n days and also n plus 2 days refer to Martin doing the job by himself, or John does the same job by himself. Okay, so only one person work on the job. And then the second sentence is about what about if they work together. If they work together, then they can finish the job in n plus 6 over 6 days. And we want to find this n. Probably this n plus 2 over 6, this 1 over 6 means divided by 6. So probably this n plus 6 over 6 days should be fewer because they are working together. Then it may save the time. Okay, and therefore, so this is a situation. So Martin finished the job in n days, and John takes 2 more days. And if they work together, then they can take finish the job in this 1 over 6 and n plus 6 days. And we want to find the unknown n. So usually students find problem is that they don't know how to write the equation with the words. They don't know how to write the equation. And in fact, that's really not very easy. This is in fact really quite hard to write the equation. Yeah, I see John given an equation and solve for n. You will find the problem because when you just multiply n and n plus 2 together, then you take number of days times the number of days, then it's not very useful. The day times day, the meaning is not very clear. And therefore, indeed, you write that equation and try to solve it, then you may probably not getting a useful answer for that n. Okay, therefore, I try to give hints here to you. I try to give hints here. n 等於1啦，咦，你可以試啊 ，n 等於1，你當試下佢。如果 n 等於1嘅話，馬田咧就係用1日，阿 John 咧就用3日。OK， 馬田用1日，阿 John 用3日，夾埋一齊做就係1加6 over 6，即係7 over 6。咁你覺得會唔會有啲奇怪咧？就係馬田自己做1日搞掂，兩個一齊做反而7 over 6，7 over 6係大過1嘅，咁會唔會有少少怪怪地咧？會唔會有少少怪怪地係？所以咧，你即係其實咧應該都唔可以是但叻嘅，即係唔可以是但屈嘅，你應該真係計到出嚟嘅。咁嗱，我俾個 idea，give you a hint on how to do it。The main difficulty is you don't know how to do this n days and n plus 2 days and also this 1 over 6 something days. Don't know how to use it. Then give you a hint how to use it. Then is try to consider the part of job done in 1 day. 寫靚啲先嚇。Try to consider the part of job done in 1 day. 咁啊 double underline 啦 ，in 1 day。 That is to try to consider how much work is done for Martin in one day, how much work is done for John in one day, and also how much work is done for both of them working together. In the original problem, it is difficult to handle the n and n plus 2. We don't know how to combine these two together. But now, if we consider the part of the job done in one day, and then we can make it easier to show how they work together. Originally, if this n day and n plus 2 days, then they work together. We cannot easily handle the n and n plus 2, because these two added up together, it does not make sense. But well, if we consider the part of job done in one day, and if they are working together, then we can really add up their contribution. Okay, so consider the work they've done in one day. Then for Martin, then one day he worked for it will be 1/6, because he can sorry, not 6, I write wrong. Okay, it will be 1/n. It is because altogether Martin needs n days for the whole job, and then now if it is only one day, then he work for 1/n of the job. 即係佢成件工作咧用 n 日㗎，所以一日就會做咗 n 分之一啦。成件工作要用 n 日㗎，所以一日咧佢就會做咗 n 分之一啦。So it is 1/n. While for the similar thing for John, then it would be one day. Then he worked for, it will be 1/, the other number as well, so 1/n plus 2. And also, if they are working together, then their contribution will be combined together. Then we can add them up. We can add them up for their total contribution. And therefore, we can set up the equation. So total, then it will be 1/n plus 1/n plus 2. That is their total contribution. And also, if they work together, the number of days they take will be 1/6 times n plus 6. And this is also for one day. That means that this is the total number of days. And therefore, we also try to use this and find the one day thing. And therefore, it will be equal to their total contribution, which is 1/1/6 n plus 6. So let's see this equation. Is it okay to you? Let's see this equation and see if this is okay to you. This is the part for Martin, and this is the part for John, and this is the part for their together. 咁以往好多同學就係可能你唔知道個 n 同 n 加2點搞啊，即係你 n 同 n 加2你唔可以就咁加埋噶嘛，你冇理由一齊做嘢仲做得快，做得耐咗噶嘛，冇理由噶嘛。咁所以唔係就咁加埋噶嘛。And therefore, that's the idea is to consider one day. In one day, how much work is done? Then you can add up their combined effort. Okay, if you understand how the equation is made, then solve it and get the answer. Again, for the solving part, I don't explain in detail, but you take some time here and do the solving. So after understanding this equation, then try to solve for the n. And this one again, you will see is the kind of equation is they are fractions, and if we are adding up together, probably then you will need to make the common denominator. 好，咁自己 solve 咗佢啦，咁係用2-3分鐘到啦。And while on the other hand, if you have problem, you don't understand the previous part, how I set up the equation, feel free to ask. So if you don't like to ask in public in the chat box, you can also ask me in WhatsApp or in privately. Okay, so if you have anything don't understand, really ask before it is too late. And I will start working on the equation. If not, so make a common denominator. 因為我冇計數機啊，所以要用 cross method 啦。咁如果唔係，你就咁撳 formula 就可以啦。So check if there are any questions. Again, if it is done, tell me it's okay, it's fine. Then that's all I would like to talk about here for today. And that's also all for chapter 8. So next time on Monday, then you bring the chapter 10. Next Monday, bring chapter 10. We give the test, and also we will go to the last chapter, chapter 10. Much of the chapter 10 is already done, but well, then we will finish the rest. And after finishing the chapter 10, we will also do more exam revision. Okay. Oh yes, that's right. John, that's very good. That's really very good. Reject, yes. Don't just stop after finding n. Don't just stop after finding n. That's very good. Because after finding the n, remember, put back into the original situation. That means we have n is negative 3 over 2 and n is 2. Go back to the problem and check n is 3 over 2. Is it okay? No, of course not. N should not be negative. Therefore, we should reject it. Okay, so don't forget to reject the unwanted answer. Thank you for the operation. Okay. And then n over n is equal to 2 seems okay because 2 days and then 4 days, and then you can add up and check is it the 8 over 6 days. Okay, so yes, that's very good. A very good reminder. Remember to reject if there are any unwanted answer. Okay, so very good. Remember to reject answer. So is it okay then overall for the whole questions or for the whole section about making making quadratic equation in words? Martin 可以喺佢派之前做定，真係勁。呢個咁可能未必嘅，咁可能係即係可能根據以往嘅估計咧，咁佢通常都要用翻咁多日啦，咁樣例如，即係佢可能或者可能係同一件 job 係即係可能同一件 job 要做幾次啊嘛，都有可能係咁樣嘅，即係可能同一件嘅同一個 project 咁樣，咁可能要做幾次，或者呢啲即係重複性嘅工作，咁可能要做幾次，咁都有可能係。OK， 好咁啦，O 唔 OK？ 大家有冇問題？有問題？冇問題 ？OK， 佢 OK 咗，都冇問題㗎，俾我 OK 咗，等我知道都 OK 啦。Okay, so if it is okay, if you are okay with it, just show me some okay. If I see many okay, then I'll just off this lesson. Also, show me okay if it is good, if it is fine, if it's all done, all set. Show me okay. So if I see the okays, then we end the lesson. Okay, so is it okay? So that's all I want to talk about today. That's also all for chapter 8. then you try your best in your next Chinese test. Alright, so that's end for this lesson. So a few minutes earlier. Okay, so that's all. See you next time. And remember to do the homework for the test page 2 and page 4. So that's it. Goodbye.